I did not expect to be on camera at this moment. I was actually just out in the parking lot here at the guest house. I went out there to fiddle around with my scooter. I was trying to figure out another way of mounting the GoPro because I was planning a day trip for tomorrow, and I was getting things set up for tomorrow. I even had a cup of coffee with me to drink while I was working on the GoPro. And I happened to look back at the stairs leading to my landlord's house, and there was a box sitting in this big pile of junk. And just the other day, I'd run into my landlord here. There's like a husband and wife that run and own this place, and I ran into the man, and he saw me out on the street, and he says, oh, we have two packages for you. So I went back, to the guest house with him, and he had two packages that he gave me. One contained a Santa hat, and the other one was actually a tin of butter cookies. And I have no idea who the Santa hat was from. I think it was like a promotional item from a company, maybe, but there was no information in the package, and the butter cookies were so tasty. I already finished those. They never even made it onto camera. I love butter cookies, and I don't know who sent me those either. But I have been getting a series of these small little packages that have come from, I believe, from companies in Bangkok who somehow became aware of me as someone who puts videos on YouTube. I don't know what's going on, but I'm getting all these little packages. And anyway, he said, okay, from now on, we're just going to leave these packages in this big pile of junk by our house. We're just going to put mail here. So you can just check this pile. And if you see something there, you can look at the label and see if it's for you. They're no longer, basically what he was saying is, we're tired of bringing packages to your door. So we're just going to leave them here from now on, and you can look for them. And I totally forgotten about that conversation. But as I said just now, I turned around to come back to my room to grab another GoPro gadget I needed for my little experiments. And I happened to glance at that pile of junk, and there was this huge box sitting there. And as I mentioned in a previous video, one of my viewers, Armando from New York, he had an old GoPro, or two old GoPros that he wasn't using anymore. He had no use for them. And he contacted me and said, could you use them? And I'm like, yes, I could very much use a second GoPro. I'm not quite sure I could incorporate 3 GoPros into my life in total, but hey, you never know. And one of them is a GoPro Hero 8, which I know nothing about. It's the newer model compared to my older Hero 7 Black. So I thought, yeah, it'd be amazing to have these cameras, and thank you very much, Armando. So he put them in the mail, and my understanding of the way the world works is that when you mail something from one side of the planet to the other side, it takes a while to get there, if it ever gets there at all. So there's no way this could be the GoPros already, right? Is that even possible? I have no idea, but I looked at the label, and it is addressed to me. Douglas Nienhuis. It has the address here. But there's nothing else on here. Like, it does not have any shipping labels from the United States or anything like that. So it's possible that when Armando sent the GoPros from the US, when they arrived in Bangkok, they repackaged them in a new box, and his box is inside this box because it's moving around inside there. But no, there's no way. This could be the GoPros already, but it's a really heavy box too. Anyway, I'm so intrigued by this package. It may contain a GoPro, but I don't think so. It contains something else, but what could possibly be this heavy? In fact, GoPros couldn't be that heavy. It's very suitable that it's so close to Christmas. What day is it? It's December 23rd, so it's almost Christmas Day. And my tradition in my family growing up was to open presents on Christmas Eve on December 24th. So tomorrow would have been the day as a young boy I'd be very excited about opening presents. So I could keep it until tomorrow, but there's no way, I can't wait. What is in this box? Do you hear that? To me, that's kind of a GoPro sound, but there's no way a package could have come from the United States so quickly, and there's no way, nah, couldn't be. And the box seems to be the wrong size for GoPro containers, but anyway. I love anticipation, I really do. To be honest, for me personally, I would have no trouble just putting this aside and opening it later and just having the anticipation. But I thought I would share the excitement of opening it. Even in my family, when we opened presents for Christmas and even for birthdays, this is how we would do it. We carefully cut all the tape on the wrapping paper, and we would try to preserve the wrapping paper, and then we fold it up carefully, and we put it all in a box and use the same wrapping paper next year. And I don't think we did that for any environmental reasons. It just seemed the respectful thing to do, as opposed to just like tearing off the paper and diving into packages. We would do it very carefully. And it ended up being quite a nice tradition because year after year after year, we would see the same wrapping paper. And on the wrapping paper, we would still have the label, like from Doug to Mom, if it was a present for my mother. And that label would still be on it. So then we would see the wrapping paper the next year with the label, and it would bring back the memories of the previous Christmas. It's like, oh yeah, I remember that present. And then the paper would get, year after year, a little bit smaller because we'd have to cut away the edges to get the useful paper in the middle. And then it would eventually get down to like a tiny size. And then of course there'd be nothing left that we could use anymore. And then we'd finally have to get rid of it. So that is why I open so gently and carefully. All right, box is open. What in the world is it? It is so heavy. It's like a car battery or something. But I don't need a car battery. I don't have a car. All right, I'll put on my close-up glasses just to get the best view. Okay. This is definitely from someone out there in the real world. That is so funny. That is amazing. Vanilla Coke. So somebody knows that my favorite drink in all the world, maybe a tie with milk, milk and vanilla Coke tied for first place. And someone sent me a 6-pack of vanilla Coke. That is, okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot more sense. So this would definitely be from someone that I know who knows me, or it's some genius in the world of Coca-Cola who actually heard me on one of my videos talk about vanilla Coke and then sent me some. That seems very unlikely. Any information on this label? Seller name, no name. Coca-Cola, vanilla flavor. That is so cool. And it's wrapped up in bubble wrap. Well, I won't be as kind to the bubble wrap. There's no way to get this off and preserve it. So we'll just tear off the bubble wrap. There it is. Vanilla Coke. And I have a suspicion of someone this could be from. I have a suspicion. And if it is you, my wandering friend, thank you very much. And but to whoever sent me these, yeah, thank you very much. And in fact, I have ice in the freezer, of course. So I'm going to go get some ice and enjoy one of these right now. Going with the Christmas theme. And Coke, of course, really has strong Christmas connections, I think, for me and for a lot of people. The red and white color scheme, same as Christmas colors. And of course, when I was a kid, there was an extremely famous and popular Coca-Cola advertising campaign. There was a song in the commercial, I'd like to teach the world to sing. Anyone even close to my age will know that commercial very well. If not, you can find it on YouTube. You know, Coca-Cola, I'd like to teach the world to sing. Kind of a 1970s hippie style, people holding hands and singing in the field. Very beautiful commercial. Actually, Coca-Cola is famous for their Christmas commercials. They did a whole series of polar bear commercials around Christmas time, and those are always very popular. So, Santa hat, vanilla Coke, 2 days before Christmas is very appropriate. And of course, this vanilla Coke was just sitting outside. It was not in a refrigerator or anything. So I definitely need the ice. I'm going to let it chill and get cold there. What I was trying to do on the scooter just now was affix one of those sticky mounts, the GoPro mount with the adhesive on the bottom. I think I'm going to take the risk of applying one of those to the scooter, and then that will give me a better mounting point for the GoPro instead of trying to mess around with the grips. Because even if you do attach the GoPro to the grip properly and it's stable, it interferes just a little bit with the handling of the scooter because it gets in the way of the turn signal, and it doesn't leave as much room for your hand to grip the grip. So I think it's fine. I think it's absolutely safe and fine, but even a little bit of interference, yeah, you don't really want anything interfering with your handling of the bike. So I think if I can mount the GoPro away from the grip using one of these adhesive mounts, I'm going to do that. And I've read that it's not a problem to remove the mount later. And I've already made arrangements to keep the scooter for another month. My rental was only for 1 week. And that week actually I think expires tomorrow. And I contacted the guys who rented it to me and asked if I could keep it for another month. And we've already agreed to that. So since I'm going to have the scooter for a full month, I think I should be okay putting one of those sticky mounts on. And then I think it'll come off later without any issue. Get the residue of the glue off, I think. Anyway, that's what I was busy doing when I saw my package out there. Vanilla Coke. Merry Christmas, everyone. I guess this is a part of my Christmas greetings to everyone out there in the world of YouTube. Merry Christmas. I hope you have a good one. That is so good. And it's a big surprise to me that I love vanilla Coke so much because I'm usually plain. I like everything plain. I seem to be thinking about my childhood and boyhood a lot. But when I was a kid, I was obsessed with plain everything. And for us to go to McDonald's was a big treat. And for some reason, I could not handle a regular McDonald's hamburger because they had the pickles and the mustard and the ketchup and the onion already on it. And I think I drove my parents crazy because I insisted on a special order of a plain burger. And you'd think that would be so easy to do at McDonald's, but it's actually not that easy at all. So if you're in line and they order meal for me and my two brothers, and then they put in, okay, and for this guy, we need 2 plain hamburgers, like nothing on them, just the patty and the bun and nothing else. And of course, that would take like 20 minutes for them to do. And I'm sure that drove my parents crazy, but they would do that for me. And when it comes to ice cream, my favorite ice cream is vanilla. My favorite coffee, at least in the past, was just coffee. I don't want flavored coffee. I don't want flavored ice cream. Muffins, just give me a plain muffin. The bane of my existence is people who put raisins in muffins, who put raisins in everything. You'd see this beautiful, delicious muffin. You bite into it, and the darn thing is just packed with raisins. And I would think, why? Why do you do this to me, world? Don't put raisins in my muffins. So you'd think, given all of that, when it comes to Coke, I would be all about plain, regular Coke, not flavored Coke. But for whatever reason, I love vanilla Coke. The plain man has one exception to his rule, and I did eventually learn to eat hamburgers with everything on them. They don't have to be plain anymore. I grew out of that stage. So, yeah, but vanilla Coke. Delicious. Merry Christmas, and thank you very much.